Hey everyone, this is Charles Dobbins for your weekly vlog. Hopefully that first part got edited out. And you're all wondering what's the first part. Okay, listen. Just got off the Monday night phone call. Had a guest speaker, Kim Taylor of syndicationattorneys.com. Kim and I have known each other for so many years, 10 years. I love the woman. She's such a sweetheart. She's such a class act, and she knows syndication. So if you're thinking about doing syndication on a deal and you want to find out more about it, make sure you, first off, just easily log into her website, syndicationattorneys.com. Sign up for all of her email blasts. She has great speakers on her program. And also she's got great resources, that she's past calls that she's done that you can all go and listen to. So definitely go check her out. So she was on the call this afternoon. Now, there are two things I want to talk to you about today. And the thing that I want to talk to you is, first off, building relationships with brokers. It is crucial. If you are making offers on multifamily properties, please don't do this. Don't make an offer, throw it on your fax machine, and hit send, or an email, obviously. Don't do it. Build a relationship with that broker. Speak to that broker before you send your offer out. Find out what it's going to take to make that seller accept your offer. Talk to him about what's going on. Talk to him about other deals that he might have in the pipeline that actually might fit your requirements a little bit better. You want to build up a relationship. Let me tell you what happened this past week. Two things in particular. Number one, I had one student that every time they made an offer, the broker would always ask for a proof of funds letter. It's like, well, why would you do that? Why is it that you, of all of my students, every single time, they always ask you this? What is it you're saying to them? So I said, I tell you what, next time we're working on a deal, why don't you bring me on the call as well? And I'll talk to the broker and we'll figure out what's going on. And you'll see me in action. You'll see that I never get asked for proof of funds letters. So we called this one particular broker on a property that she was interested in. Now, just for full disclosure, I had another client, another student in my program that was looking at this property as well. All right. And, that's okay. I have students that many students, and sometimes they're all looking at the same property. And in that case, I make sure that I don't share anyone's information, with another party. In this particular case, we got on the phone with the broker. We started a long dialogue. We started talking, and we find out from the broker that if we come to the table with 20% down, the seller is willing to finance the entire deal. No bank involved, no closing costs, nothing, no approval. 20% down, the seller is willing to finance the entire deal. He owns all the properties, 6 properties, no mortgages. Okay, so in no documentation that broker had sent out to anybody did he ever mention that there was seller financing available on this deal. My other student and his package, nothing. Nowhere did it say that, except when we picked up the phone and we called the broker and we started jawing with them and building a relationship. Did that fact come out? Now we are looking at this deal in an entirely different light. And you would too, I'm sure. But you'd never find that out until you call the broker. All right. There was another particular client in the same week, same exact situation. The broker calls up and says, hey, I'd like to have a call with you. I got your offer, but I want to talk to you a little bit about it. So the client calls me up and says, hey, this broker wants to talk to me to give me any pointers. I said, well, you say this, you say that, you say that. Then calls me back and says, hey, the broker's going to have 4 other people on the call. I said, okay, time out. Put me on the call with you. I'll get in there with you. We'll make sure that, we come out looking professional and looking like we're doing everything correctly. So that's what we did. And it was a phenomenal conversation with a broker that is coming from the same perspective we are, that, hey, this is a relationship business. You just sent me the offer. I didn't even know who you were. Let's get to know each other. What are you looking for? And after that conversation was done, that broker had sent my client a 6-property portfolio that he had never seen before. Okay, so that's what it takes to start building a relationship with a broker. And when you do, you never know the great stuff that can happen. All right, let me go through this because this is a problem that I came across with two students. And this problem really bugged me. And I couldn't understand why this was happening. I was thinking, am I not teaching this correctly? Is there something wrong with the way that I am explaining this to my students? And then I figured out that the common denominator between these two students and all the rest of my students was that these two students have never been to one of my all-day classes. They've never seen how I teach multifamily. They've never seen how I train people in understanding how the cap rate impacts valuation. All right? Now, if I just lost some of you by saying that, come to one of my classes. You will understand it when you're done. You will understand how you value multifamily property with the cap rate. All right. So let me read to you these two emails that these two students sent over. So first one sends it over to me, and he gives me the whole narrative on the property, a 40-year-old property in a secondary market, built in obviously 1974, 75. It's got, all these different issues with it. And in the cash flow analyzer that we use to value a property, he put in a 6 cap. Now, I am not entirely knowledgeable about that particular marketplace, but I don't think a C-class property is really a 6 cap in that market. I think he's wrong on the cap rate. So I open up the broker offering a memorandum, and I take a look, and I see, even the broker is calling this an 8 cap. So why is my student putting a 6 cap in the valuation and saying that's the price I want to offer? For those of you that aren't following this along, the 6 cap means that the property is worth more than what it is at an 8 cap. So in other words, if he values the property at an 6 cap, he's paying about $1 million more than what the property is worth. Because even the broker is saying, no, this thing is an 8 cap, risk your investment, not worth as much, $1 million less. So why is my student stepping up to the plate and saying, I'm gonna pay more? So I asked him, why are you using a 6 cap to value that? Because if you look at the page 2 in the broker offering memorandum, the broker is telling you that it's worth an 8 cap. And I said, what you're trying to tell me is that you think this property is more valuable than even the broker thinks it is. And therefore, you're willing to pay more. One of the things you learn in my class is that you can fix anything on a multifamily property except one thing, and that's overpaying for it. We don't overpay. We are investors. We don't pay retail. We're investors. We find the deals and we buy it. If it's not a deal, we don't buy it. We do not overpay for anything. And his response back to me was, Charlie, I guess the answer to your question is yes. I am willing to buy it at a lower cap rate than what the brochure says. I believe 8 is not representative of this particular market. The broker is telling you that it's an 8. Don't tell me, you've never bought a property before in your life. Don't try to tell me that the broker's wrong, that you think it's a 6, and therefore you're willing to buy it at a 6. Listen, guys, we don't need to buy bad properties. We don't need to buy bad deals. We need to buy the good properties. We need to buy them with the right price. And we need to make sure that if you buy one property wrong, you'll never buy another property again. So if you're looking to build up a portfolio, if my job is to get you to 1,000 apartment units, we got to make sure that we do things correctly. You do that, you'll never do another deal, because the market changes, anything flips. You are so upside down in that property, you might as well just go drop the keys on the bank's desk. And believe me, if you want to buy this property at a 6 cap, that seller is going to give it to you all day long. You're going to own a lot of property if that's the way you value the property. Just don't do it. All right, now the next one, and this is the last one I'm going to wrap it up. To get rid of my, looking for my wish paper basket. Okay. So this student, okay. Here we go. He writes an LOI. He says, I've also included an updated cash flow analyzer. We believe, and I feel like putting on the voice that'll kind of give you an idea of this. We believe it's overpriced at $13 million. That's what they were asking. But believe the real number will be closer to our offer of $10 million. It's in a great area in a very affluent part of the county. It's 111 unit, built in 1970 to 1974. Goes on and on. And then he comes back and says, I've toured the property this afternoon and still believe it is overpriced. But now follow this logic. But we want the opportunity to get our contractor in there to develop and document the repairs that will be required to bring the entire property up to market rents. The offer we will need to make to get that opportunity to justify the appropriate price will be $13 million. 10 million, 10 million, 13 million. Follow me here. There is no logic. This is the exact type of property we're coached and trained to look for. Not in my program, you're not. A garden, two-story, blah, blah, 70s, and there he says it. In other words, a C-class property in a B area. Heard that one a million times. We believe the original value we determined at $10 million is accurate, and our analysis includes $500,000 of improvements. We won't know if our CapEx estimate is accurate until we get a contractor in there to validate our preliminary estimates. What we do know is that this would be an ideal property to acquire, add value, and to drive market rents, then manage it with relentless efficiency because we have so much experience. Our initial fair market value of $10 million won't make the cut, but we want the opportunity to determine and demonstrate to the owners what the property is really worth and negotiate the offer price down. For what it's worth, listen to this, for what it's worth, the broker who brought us this deal fully agrees with our assessment of value. Wow. So they think they have to offer $13 million, send in their contractor, have them go through the whole thing, and come back with a number, and then they're going to turn around and go back to the seller and say, hey, our contractor says we are overbidding on this property by $3 million. So we're going to reduce our price to $10 million. But we're educating you. We're taking it upon ourselves to educate you to come to the realization that your property is not as pretty as you think it is. Guys, do you think this is going to work? Do you think this is really a winning strategy with a seller? You just told the seller that you're willing to pay 13. If that property was what your contractor went in there and said, oh, everything's beautiful, this place is great, you're going to pay $13 million for it? I don't think so. Not a winning strategy. Oh, but final offers are due on Thursday, so we have to move fast. Here's my response to my student. Sorry, but I could not disagree with you more. This may be a nice property and one that meets all the physical requirements, but you have not learned the most important lesson. You can fix anything on a property except overpaying for it. We are investors. We offer the price that works for us, not what works for the seller. Even the broker agrees with you on your analysis. What more do you need to justify an offer price of $10 million? Do you honestly think making an offer of $13 million, getting a contractor in there to come up with a number, and then go back to the broker and seller trading down to $10 million is a good strategy? I guarantee you the broker will forget your initial conversation and back the seller when he says no go. We are not in the business to overpay for properties, and we are not in this for practice. Make the offer that is right for you and move on. All right? My job is to make sure that you buy your properties the right way. I have bought enough properties the wrong way to make sure you never have to do it again. So that's the end of my vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it, you learned a little something here today. And in the meantime, if you're interested in finding out more or getting involved in my program, it's the Owner Forum. It's the best coaching, mentoring, consulting, training program about multifamily on the internet today, if I don't say so myself. And I did just say that. So it's got to be true, right? Please look me up or drop us an email at info@multifamilyinvestingacademy.com. And I would love to have you in my program. And there's a lot of that tough love that you just saw here today. But you know what? That's my job. That's why you pay me. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Looking forward to seeing you next week.